Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots, and today we are making a rough and tough motorcycle gnome. Boop! If you'd like to make him, just stick around. Now you are going to see one of my mistakes, but like this video so I know you're here crafting with me anyway. See that big cone? We're gonna use a 7-inch. I used some doll sunglasses, or made some doll sunglasses. I'm using leather and some trim, a bandana, felt, and faux fur. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start with a 7-inch gnome. This is larger. I'm going to cut this down because I didn't like the way it looked, but we're just going to cover the entire cone in felt. That's it. That's our first step. It's super easy. So make sure that you pay a little attention to that top part there, make it into a point, and then when you're trimming the bottom, just trim a little bit, make sure you still have an overhang. Now before we get into more,
Here with a friendly gnome reminder to subscribe. How? Just click that red subscribe button below and then the bell for turning on all notifications. Now let's get back to Sarah and the crafts.
are you loving those? I am loving them. All right, so we're going to do is faux fur needs to be done. We are going to cut a beard in sort of a U shape. If you need a tutorial on how to cut faux fur properly, here's it in a nutshell. Only cut the backing. Now for this, we're going to use both a beard and a rectangle for a mustache. Ooh, and here we go. Here's our schmexy little brushing the faux fur out. And enough of that business. Okay, so we are going to brush it out just so you can see everything nicely. We're going to do the same with the mustache. Now, I want you to flip over the mustache. I don't know why people keep things a secret, but I don't keep my things secret. I think everybody should have all the tips. So when you want to make a mustache like this that's pretty pronounced, cut a triangle out of one side of it. You're going to split the fur, and then you're going to glue all of the fabric backing together. Okay, we are going to do this because it's going to be a massive drape. Now, do you want a handlebar mustache? Throw a stick of wire in there and then you have a handlebar mustache. So, hey, if you want, these are some tips. Okay, now we're going to place our beard. Now listen, again, just as a reminder, I cut my cone down. Please do not put your beard where mine is because I cut off quite a few inches of the bottom of this cone. And all we're going to do is add a little hot glue there, add our nose on. Mine is clay. You can use wood, a button, anything your heart desires. And then we're going to put that mustache with that little divot right under it. I used a dollar store bandana, and all I'm going to do is scrunch it up a little bit and glue it right there on the top of the nose like we would all of our little gnome hats. And now we're going to tack one side down, take your pick, doesn't matter. And then we're going to cut off extra bits of the bandana. Now, again, you could have done this beforehand. I wasn't thinking too clearly, obviously. So all I'm doing is just cutting both sides down, and then we'll make them pretty in just a second. But I just want to be able to tie them in a double knot. And here you go. Tuck all the ugly bits under, tie it in a double knot, and then keep that hot glue gun handy and just hem the edges. See? All of our problems solved with hot glue, which is not really true, but it would be super nice if it were. The beauty of hot glue. All right, so now we're going to make a jacket. Not like that. We are going to, I have a faux leather roll. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'll leave the link down below to get it on Amazon. It's perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the pattern for the pirate gnome. I'm using the jacket and the boots. Oh yeah. And we're just going to fold on the edge there, and then we're going to cut the leather. It's nice. And we're also going to cut all the other pieces. This is a collar piece right here. We're not going to use it in the same way as the pirate gnome. And then we're going to have our arms pieces as well. You can see all the pieces over there. Okay, so we're going to make our arms, but be sure you don't put hot glue all the way down the edge. Oops, there goes our little ball for our hand. And just repeat that with the other one. Super easy so far, right? And now it's time for the boots. All right, so this boot pattern is something special, kittens. I worked on it to perfect it, and I'm telling you, I loves it. I couldn't find what I wanted, so I made it. You know how I am. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut all the pieces out of the pattern. We're going to follow it, and we're just going to create a nice little ball of polyfill right here, and then we're going to build our shoes. We put the front on first. We put the sides down, and then we put the shaft on. Now, you can do this the other way around. So you can see there's these little tabs, and that's what I'm doing is I'm making sure those tabs are up right now. If you get the pattern, you'll know what I mean. It makes 100% sense. Okay, so here we are. This is how it's going to look, and we're going to hot glue it down. Now grab yourself a pencil or a chopstick or something that's going to be able to get inside this shaft. I'm trying to show you. You just position it so it's lined up in the back. There you go. And then just make sure the back piece is down. And then just push the outer edges out with that pencil. And then you glue your tab down and do the other side while that's drying. Or I'm sorry, do the other shoe while that's drying. And then clean up the bottom if you have any overhang and add that last piece on the pattern around the bottom. Woohoo! Now we're just tracing the bottom of our gnome to cover up that styrofoam cone on the bottom. Now we're going to add a little bit of weight. You can add rocks, you can add poly beads, not so heavy, but you can add aquarium, anything you want. Because all we want is to give it a little bit of weight. Here, I'm just making sure I know where my dowels need to go through. I'm poking holes in the bottom and then gluing it on the bottom. That's it. And here we go. Poke right through. After you put on your feet, we're going to make him a star. We're going to attach the jacket backwards, unlike the pirate, and then leaving the edges open, we're going to fold down the collar. Now you're going to tack down the very sides, you can see right here on the side, and then we're going to tack down a little bit on the, you see, woo, going all the way down. We're going to do that for both sides. Now we take our arms, take the front about an inch of that collar, and then we attach them. So it makes it all nice and pretty underneath. So you have one pattern already used two ways. And then you go ahead and attach the other arm. And now it's time for rockstar status. We are using a ribbon trim here, and I'm just making two of these like buckly things, really cool. And I'm putting them around the boots, around the arms, or what do you call it? No, wrists. And then I'm putting it all the way around on the bottom of this jacket. It really helps to finish it off. And then I snip it here on the front for the collar. And then I'm going to do around the entire collar as well, or the bottom of the collar as well. I put a little pocket on as well. And if you'd like to, here's your motorcycle gnome. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you're going to make him. And thanks for joining Ruffles and Rain Boots. Please subscribe.